Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, and welcome back to Harvest December. So, fortunately, I'm back to live commentary this time after the disaster of last time in which I had to post-commentate and somehow survived. Anyway, the spoon dropped into the large ice cream bucket circled in her arms. It hit the surface of the white, thick liquid inside and slowly sank to the bottom. The surface of the melted ice cream rippled and a few drops splattered on the floor. Shiro-sama. What? She was staring at the soap opera running on TV. She wasn't watching it, but just staring at it. Your ice cream's melting. Oh, I didn't notice. She looked down at the white puddle sitting in her ice cream bucket. The cost of me... That cost my salary, so please eat it before it spoils. I'm not even showing the least courtesy as a guest, am I? I looked up for something to say. It was hard to hold a conversation with her lately. Misaki? The door opened before I could answer. Ow. Hello, my useless mother. Ignoring me, I strode into the room. What is it now? I came in here to inflict some pain while I have the chance to, she said as she reached out for Shiro. Hey! How do you like that? The Argentinian backbreaker. That's for taking my man away. Revenge is sweet. Ow! Ow. Happily lifted Shiro over her head and bent her backwards. Next is Worm. Take that. Please don't do that in my room. We didn't have much space. Oh, Misaki, you spoil sport, Alice said disappointedly while she tossed Shiro onto the floor. What are you talking about when you said my man? Oh, come on, you know who, she said coyly. I felt a migraine coming on. You! Shiro lay sprawled on the floor, belly down. She was so angry she couldn't speak. Look at you now, pathetic. Now you know how it feels to be a god with no power. I'll remember this. Did you say something? Once I get my powers back, I'll make you suffer. Is your threat an empty one, I wonder? Shiro coughed and choked, but her eyes never left Ao. If looks could kill, that certainly would have been lethal. Well, so long, mother. My floor-licking, wormish, good-for-nothing mother. Get out! She flung her ice cream bucket at Al, but only hit the door. Al had already left. Shiro was breathing so hard her shoulders shook. I got something to clean that up, I said as I walked out around the puddles of melted ice cream spilt on the floor. Well, that's what I call being livid, Al commented blandly. She was leaning on the wall outside my room. That little that I'll that I could hear Shiro cussing vehemently in my room. I shut the door tight. That's better. Thanks. Why are you thanking me? She's a lot better now. I only did it for myself. Well, I'm sure it was for that too. I smiled dryly. But thanks anyway. You didn't have to thank me for anything. I didn't do it for you or her. Alice sniffed once and looked away. I can think of several ways you could thank me, but I'll be good today and leave. Al glanced at the door and mirrored my expression. Like mother, like daughter, I guess. I have become such a softie. I prefer this version of you better now. Just now, not always. She looked at me suggestively. Come visit again. Are you sure? I'm planning on cracking out my dragon superplex next time I visit. Please, choose the gentler wrestling tactics, like the ones that won't kill her, I suggested amiably. Ha ha! Al laughed. Riddles again. That was short. That was only 4 minutes. Less than 4 minutes. I'm gonna keep going. We're having Mommy-chan's love-infused dinner tonight, so you guys make sure you can finish everything because I won't be bothered wrapping up leftovers, okay? Half of it is made from instant food mix, though. Don't complain about that. Complaining about food is the first step to a broken family. Itadakimasu. And I know that one because I read it just a minute ago, the vocabulary word. Dad simply started to eat with a book in one hand. I had to respect him, since he seemed to have a greater understanding of Mom. You! Got us! Dig in! Shiro placed her palms together in a polite gesture. She was beginning to get used to Mom's ways, too. Dad usually came home late from the university, so it was a rare occasion when everybody was present for dinner. Why do you think of the situation now, Dad? I started immediately. I was worried about the speed at which the minor gods were evolving. The gods have acquired culture, if you can call it that, Dad replied quickly. Don't eat with food in your mouth. Sorry, I won't do it again. His apology to Mom was even quicker. Whatever respect I had for him decreased a bit. Decreased? Misaki, your mistake is trying to see things the way a god does. You're trying to put yourself in their shoes to understand where they're coming from. Are you saying I'm playing God? Yes, that's the modern way of thinking. You cut the subject apart and observe. It's effective when a scientist is looking for facts and information. But it does more harm than good in this situation. Do you know why? I took a mouthful of miso soup when I thought about it. It was actually a homemade miso soup, a nice change from the instant sachets Mom usually used. I have an arbitrary point of view. Fail, Dad laughed. The problem is that your viewpoint is essentially static. Structuralism isn't appropriate here. Why don't you think about their movement as a whole? Tell me, what is the problem of having a static point of view? It's hard to understand each individual in depth. I knew my answer was vague. Correct, but Dad nodded. It's important to understand each individual, but what is being an individual about? Having a will. Take for example, Shiro-sama sitting here. Dad took a mouthful of pickles from the local pickle shop. She's alive, she's warm. Do you think it is correct to judge her from what she is in her current state? I see. I held my breath as understanding dawned. If she's alive, change is inevitable. What's so strange about gods absorbing and acquiring culture? Yeah, but you're worried about the speed at which they evolve. I nodded. Dad was several... Oops. Oh dear. I accidentally hit down the A button. Dad was several steps ahead of me. From what I see, I would assume that their network is pretty basic. They have a pioneer amongst them, or someone that is serving as their leader. That one god is able to teach and pass information to all of them, so each of them and every one of them to share knowledge. So each and every one of them share the same knowledge. By the way, I meant to ask Shiro. Dad leaned towards her. How's your cold? I think I'm recovering. I know a doctor. She's a bit of an oddball. I met her at a research project. How am I supposed to react to that? She's a bit eccentric. She turned into a doctor after being a scientist. And you want me to see her? Yes, if you're returning human, it might be better to have a checkup. Besides, it might be interesting for you to experience our medical procedures. It's not as if I've got anything better to do. Fine, I'll be the subject for the experiment if you want. I'll arrange for a venue. Arrange for a venue? Isn't that kind of weird? It was Mommy-chan that asked. She rarely showed any interest in our conversation, so even Dad looked surprised. If she's going to have a medical checkup, why wouldn't it be at a hospital? Why would you have to arrange for a place? Well, you see, she sort of had a few malpractices to say the least, so she's banned from the medical world now. Oh, so she's a nonconformist. I prefer my doctors to be conformists, thanks. I have to say, I probably would too. That's why instead of working at a clinic, she had to pull some strings and now works as the health doctor at a school in the sick bay. Malpractice, sick bay. That's, Minaka Shiro. Dad, I've been poisoned by her before. I'm sure she does that occasionally. Don't take it so lightly. Anyway, are you up for a checkup? You just didn't need to ask twice. I've already said I'd do it. I'm trying to balance on top of this exercise ball that I'm sitting on suddenly. Ow. I just whacked my knee on the desk. Alright, that's better. I can sit still now, for now. You'll have to wake up early tomorrow. I'm thinking of arranging it someplace far. Mom sipped her miso soup as she watched us. It shot out of her nose. Why is this so bitter? Mission accomplished. Yay! A couple of tiny gods, just a couple inches high, were dancing on top of the salt and pepper shakers. We put in tummy medicine. It's bitter, but good for your body. And nasty on your tongue. Mommy-chan only takes the sweet syrups for medicine. I hate medicine. Oh, Mom. Let's go on a house tour. Roger that. Wait. Stop there, you minimums. Mom ran out of the kitchen, chasing the two miniature gods. I'm sorry. If I had my powers, I would never have let them do that. Dad was at a loss for words, too. Like father, like son, we sat in awkward silence. I want seconds! A savior always comes at the most unexpected moments. Yuki, who had been concentrating on her food the entire time, suddenly stood up and pushed an empty rice cooker under my nose. You need more? You'll get hungry when you exercise, but you finished an entire rice cooker. I want to grow bigger, even more than now. Oh, stop staring at my boobs. I'm not. I was talking about your height. Somersault catch! Yuki spiked me on the head. Her volleyball practice at high school gave her muscle. I was sent flying in my chair. With my chair. Good lord. Does everybody have something against Masaki? Anyway, my throat is getting tired, so I'm going to end this off here. My name is Dragonite. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.